Hello and welcome everyone to Disco Elysium. We're still in the harbor and we have to talk to the harbor master, so let's do that and waste no time. Continue our investigation. The coffee in the giant thermos is still lukewarm. Stair made out of pellets leading up. Oh, is that? Oh, there were stairs. Heh. Taxidermy fish that tells time. Everett Clare. Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you. The mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled. Are you in charge of the dock workers? Welcome,
Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Are we Mr. Dubois? He gestures to a tiny chair opposite to his giant desk.
I'm Everett Clare, head of the Debargeurs Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The chair nods at you, then the chair. Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some serious bad vibes from that name. Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner as equals. Take a seat, I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out. I don't sit. It's kind of my thing. So weird.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
As he nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
He turns back to his typewriter. You're no titan of volition, buddy. He's got you on a fork. Sit down or leave. Well.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man. And reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
He gives you a sly wink. Let's try to wink back.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debargeurs Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you sit on has got the most uncomfortable chair. Has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside. Well, let's better heal. I don't want to die.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Garte. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say. This
it was terrible.
Should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with the cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Points at it again. Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it. Don't say anything. Keep it, I'm good. Wait, you know Garte?
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy is.
With a grin, he points to the check again. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it. Yeah, I don't thank him for it, but I take the
Is there
money.
anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No, it's cool.
Cool? Wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
He knows an awfully lot.
Lost gun, lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. Oof. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull: lost and gun. When he said don't worry, he actually meant be worried. How do you know about my lost gun?
I know everything, Harry. Right now I know that you're worried. Don't be worried.
Harry de Blois?
Everything's
Is that our
going to be
name?
all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 bullets loaded. Oh. Ooh. Should I try that? Low chance. Damn it. So what? Men cry too. You want to cry? God, you're weak. Whatever you do, don't cry. You think you're disgusting.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his finger, but to no effect. You're in some stupor.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get
It's
you a
just
glass
slide
of
down.
water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hand somehow and kind of throwing motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act like right back him. He's Mr. Dubois. Now I'm as good as it gets. Mr. Dubois weakly gestured with your hand above your head. Oh yeah, man, I'm fucking great. Keep sliding. I'm melting.
What an odd demonstration of... Huh? You got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time, and I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Craig, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him a question. Police officer question. I want to talk about the hanging. Of course, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. He nods. I know everything that goes on around here and I would love to discuss it with you. Secret task complete. Interview the union boss. Gained experience plus 10. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me. I sense there's a but. But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow the thing wide open. Yes, that sounds good. The lieutenant says with a slow nod. Let's do that. But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. Suddenly, he slaps himself on the forehead. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at door opening. Kim, is that true? Are we door opening machines? I'm not sure I understand. He looks at the union boss. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen. Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it. Whose door is it? Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. What do you mean by weasel? A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly. He moves his glasses and rubs his nose. Just go there, unlock the door and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me. Harry, I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you. He puts his glasses back on. Why don't you open it yourself? Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have the extraordinary physique you do. He slams his fists together. You look like you could run around all day. You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you? I repeat, I'm very, very busy man, Mr. Katsuragi. Therefore, I must occasionally enlist outside help. He turns back to you. So what will it be, Harry? I bet you don't even know anything about the hanging. Harry, my dear friend, he sinks deeper in the chair. I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Nah. I can't do this. Of course, Harry, I understand, but if that's the case, I don't think we'll ever find your gun. Ever worse, we won't be able to speak like equals about the murder. Perhaps this was just bad timing for you. Know that you can always come back to me. I really hope so. Hope you do. He winks at you. For your sake, my sake, and for your gun's sake too. Lieutenant says, yes, we both understand what you mean. This may be the only way he thinks. I won't hold it against you. In fact, we probably should reconsider later. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in? Harry, he says almost gently. Honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia, a man your age. I too am surprised by the resilience and athleticism of this tool I've been provided with. Yes, Harry, you are obviously in peak physical condition, and I salute both your initiative and your physical prowess. Very impressive, Harry. Very impressive. Anyways, I assure you I'm very well informed, man. I'm a very well informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. What's in the container that's outside your office? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. There's something special about it. It was attached to the Qualson crane. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch, he says with the fondest of smiles. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you. Of course, let's dispatch with the familiarities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. Well, that's my real name? My god, so it's true, I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesia cop, aren't you? He shrugs with an amazed expression. What are the odds of that? I think the odds of that, he looks at you, are very low. It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first. My memory is fine. I'm just testing you. So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my resources were wrong. He pats the brown folder in front of him. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out with my big fat folder. Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. Guess word has already reached him, no matter no harm done. It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it. You're trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents? Lieutenant inspects Everett over his spectacles. Mr. Katsuragi, would you mind? His eyes never leave yours. Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now. Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Let's do it. Ooh, that's not good. But nothing to hide. Oh, Harry, he peeks into the folder as if it's hard to turn away from the mystery inside. Oh, wow. This is really something. I'm sure it's not that bad, the lieutenant whispered. At worst, he has been an old RCM folder, and I very much doubt even that. So how about it, Harry? He leans back into the chair. You need assistance, I presume. What's my full name? It's Harry. Harry Dubois. Wait, I thought you are Harry Dubois. No, I'm really not. You are Harry. I really like it. Don't be silly, Harry. He smiles broadly. Harry Dubois. That's a real man's name. A union man's. Lieutenant covers his face and sighs audibly. Mr. Katsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. He frowns at Kim. I, however, wish to help you any way I can. You know where I live? But of course, Harry. He nods. Your precinct is the 41st, and you live in Jamrock. You're a Jamrock boy. A long way from home, but that's okay. Doesn't really seem to know any more about it. You know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids? Family? Oh, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you are a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man? I'd be a wonderful father. Well, yes. He looks around uninterested. I'm sure you're gonna make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. What kind of cop does it say I am? Harry, you're not simply a cop. You are a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar. That's what I like about you, Everett. You get me. Of course I do, Harry. He smiles a sly smile. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages. Your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois. He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity at Martinez. Where did you get the folder? Ah, this? He closed the folder. My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry. This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt. Find that very suspicious. May I have a look? I'm afraid this is meant for union eyes only, Mr. Katsuragi. I'm sure you understand. He turns back to you. Please continue, Harry. Oh. Let's leave for now. Wait. He leans, reaches into his drawer and pulls out a plastic card. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Things I was wondering how I'm supposed to get one. Great, well, when I get stuck here. Yeah, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care, Harry. So I guess maybe we could have used the other union card that we found. Dock worker shift card. Yeah, maybe we could have used that to get in here too. Farm pants from Kuno. Ask about the gardener. Yeah, we have to talk to the gardener. Where do I leave? Well, that was unpleasant. That guy certainly knows way too much. And we lost morale. Which is not great either. Let's do a quick save. Anything new from you, Leo?
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And a lot of folks really did keep coming back.
Well, I have some more questions. No, I'm not. So how do I get out of here, though? Can I go down here? Oh yeah, that is actually where I have to go. There's a door. So I have to use this door. Oh. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. A giant ass print on the pillow and a pattern of coffee rings on the armrest. Someone is habitually chilling out next to the radio. Punch clock payphone. An imposing combination of a punch clock and payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side said token unavailable due to strike. Use change. You don't have to use the phone. We heard about that the union or that the dock workers do have a phone. Someone left the coffee machine on. Standard cabin, office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. Every worker member of the board is written on the top of the flyers. Below the flyers, the union logo and demand democracy. Postcard. Another postcard. Ooh, neat office shades. Visual calculus, less drama though. And that is magnesium. Nice. Let's get full health again. Or full. Let's put on the glasses. Look at us. We're so cool. File cabinet. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers. It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this. The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders. Hundreds of documents containing logistic data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Material coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Mundi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Curon, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. Anything interesting? It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are blurry. Ooh. Ah. Look how blurry all the lines on these papers are, how unwieldy unwieldy your own willpower is to yourself. You're like an absurdist Samaritan monk, focusing through not focusing. Hermeneutics was almost within your grasp, but now only vague letters float before your eyes, less meaningful but aesthetically more pleasing. If I let my eyes go completely out of focus, all shapes start melting into each other. Could I actually focus through not focusing? You're a police officer, not a spiritual healer. You can focus the normal way by turning your attention to something and not letting go. Is that what you're doing with those folders over there? Yes. Volition thought +1 focusing. Okay, let's try it again. No! You're trying hard, but the data here is unbelievably dry. Something about containers. Damn it. Okay, reading is not our strong suit. It was just too boring. It's not our fault that those documents are so boring, right? We're a cool cop. We're a superstar. Oh, now we're on this side. Okay. Oh, there are people.
Yes.
Didn't want to talk to you. Do want to talk to these people there. Oh, look at this. A notice: in case of a strike, press button behind guard. Oh, can't talk to her. Was that the guard? Measurehead. Your body betrays your
betrays
Sorry.
your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Okay. My body does not betray my degeneracy.
You have succumbed to unruly.
His face contours in disgust, as if he were smiling at Edred.
An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
I don't have a problem with Al-Ghul. I just drink a little on the weekends.
Your mouth moves, but the one who speaks is Al-Ghul. You are but a vessel for the Ghul now. Very little of yourself remains. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence of the Ham Sandwich race is waning.
The race stuff is unimportant here. I just need you to help me do my job, please. Let's make it clear. I'm not a drunk. I'm a cop. I just have a drink every now and then. Everyone does.
The ethanol fungus is deep within your nervous system, pulling the strings. You are merely its pupa now. I see no hope for you or your kind.
The race stuff is unimportant here. I just need you to help me do my job, please.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. How far the Occidental Haplogroup has fallen. You were once a noble and powerful race. You gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy, race theory, and statecraft. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Koikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
You're right about all this. Now I just need you to cooperate with me as a police officer.
Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with dignity by inviting the other races to a great world war. Bring your troops to the Simenon Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum for you. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality called art and your microcephalic skulls.
You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. It would enrich you rhetorically. Would that mean I have to become a Seminese supremacist myself? Well, yes. Why don't you want to be a Seminese supremacist? So what if you are not Seminese? You can be anything. Conceptualize. Subscribe to his advanced race theory. Not really, I don't want that. Know anything about this mug? Does not so much as glance at the object. This your kind of thing? Stop showing me your pathetic cup. I have no interest in it. What? Don't be such an asshole to your fellow dock worker. The man looks at you, silent and unmoving. His eyes burrow into the remnants of your soul. You are not Santiago. Santiago is not you. Even the frenetically impaired can see this. Isn't Everett, the union boss, white? Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. The race enigma runs much deeper than that. Turns his eyes towards the harbor, seemingly bored with you. But yeah, but you still serve him. How does that factor into your life? Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront international capital, something your race, naivistic communists, never did. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. My jam is a mysterious fourth thing, just so you know. Jam, individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? You have picked them up from rock and roll songs. And from radio. It's true, I'm a rock and roll star and a rebel. Rock and rolls is moribund. Only Kojaks listen to it anymore. There is no life left in it. My people abandoned it long ago. It leads only to neurodegenerative herpes and heroin overdoses. I'm not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminese race. I think it's interesting. We have like a few things here already that we learned in the game and about this world that in a very kind of over the top way, there are like a lot of social issues packed into the game for this world, which I like, but which I think is interesting. It does not draw too much comparison to real life events, but kind of just gives us their own issues, their own ways of race issues and race wars and supremacist thoughts, which is an interesting way of doing it, I think. So let me know in the comments below what you think about just the concept of how they implement those kind of rhetorics into the game. I don't really know who the Siamese are. I've recently experienced head trauma. I can see that the Siamese are the South Island race, haplogroup A4A, the rightful masters of the Insulinian archipelago. We descend from the Areopagites of ancient Pericarnassus and arrived here 4,000 years ago. We are the future. That is all you need to know. So you were born and raised on the islands before you moved to Revachol? I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulumbuir are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young Seminese women walk into the grey mass on Ile de Fantôme, waiting on immaculate conception from the Pale. So you did come from there. So you did not come from the islands. No, Cranes said. I have heard about it on the radio. So you're not really Seminese, you're just from Revachol. I am from Curon. He changed his tactics. And no, it's not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Seminese strategy. Spreading through its trade networks, our culture will dominate the world. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with. Think upon. What are those tattoos of yours supposed to mean? Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. He gestures toward the lorryman down the street. Welcome to Revachol. You hear him yell at a red-hat woman visiting the fritter nearby. I must think redheads are immigrants. I'm not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull and features. This should dispel any doubt. The drawing are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism. Also, his earlobes could be smaller. Do we want to... Your earlobes are too big. The size of the earlobes is not a real craniometric criteria. Everyone knows this. Your earlobes are flawless, Jean-Luc. Yes. The man falls silent, this man. Are you sure? I mean, the jaw is clearly an activistic stigmata. That activistic stigmata makes pussy say yes plenty. Babe, thanks. The tattoos on his stone face briefly form a smile, but I got this. Kim, what do you think about this? I don't think anything about this. We're wasting our time having this conversation. I feel like this is probably Kim's stance on most of the things happening. As you turn, bright light catches your eye, making you squint. Where's it coming from? From a distant sunset, a stage light, flash photography, nowhere in particular, just what superstar law officers do. They squint at lights and they solve shit. Yeah, that's me. I've been establishing my superstardom hard lately. Yeah, you have. You're a big dick cop, Dick Mullen, Salam Rocky Bai, badass on the edge of disco cop. Time to recede into a ludicrous fantasy world. Here we go, camera lights. Action. With a sudden flash, the world freezes around you and you along with it. In an iconic monochrome solution, a black silhouette against a rasterized orange world. It's on. We have a new thought. Some kind of superstar. Don't have any slots left. Don't know how to, if we can switch them out. I don't think so. Another postcard. This laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the eastern bank is already fully renovated. The hillsides are lush with gardens and residences. Someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. So are those just items that junk items to sell? Well, that was an interesting conversation. Who are you?
Scab?
Call me Manana. Asked a man with the jolly eyes tilting his head. You're hazy on the notion of a scab. Smells like politics, though. Maybe it's got something to do with flask he reaches for from time to time. Yeah, I'm a scab. Poor and downtrodden. Right to work.
Good one, officer. Don't worry, we here have solidarity with the RCM.
Okay.
Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money.
He chuckles, then realizes.
Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the wild north? Come to see the strife?
I'm a bit short of money right now. Can you give me some of it? Good thing, my friend. I can help you out. He flips the coin towards you. Uh-oh. That's right. The coin narrowly slips by your outstretched fingers and falls to the ground. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do, passing around cargo and such. He rubs the back of his head. Was not meant as provocation or ridicule. Lieutenant Cuthbert picks up the coin, hands it to you. Almost had a heart attack. Very sorry, friend. Britt is nearby. Get some nose heft. He points to the boutique just right of him. Good stuff. Helps against heart attacks too. Idea who killed the hangman? The mercenary, eh? He shrugs. Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? And shakes his head solemnly. The harbor is a prime area of suspicion. In your opinion, are the dock workers involved in the killing? What a thought, he scoffs, looking shocked. Why would noble workers resort to such a thing unless they were pushed, of course. Pushed how? Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. What does that mean? Was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. Did you kill him? I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men with all sorts of skills. He's not lying, but not doing it himself. Understood, the lieutenant takes a note. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you. No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Sure, I'm glad it's not my search. Takes a sip from his flask. Okay, gotta get moving. What's going on here? Is that a protest? It says Breed. The Greater Ravishal Industry Harbor. Hey, who's this guy?
Bastards! We have a right to work!
The man yells toward the harbor gates. His voice is the loudest of the lot, and oddly screechy for a man his size. What's going on here?
Pull up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
The broad-shouldered alpha male turns to you. He's a full head taller than everyone else here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down?
No.
Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work! Right to work! Besides,
We're not that different. It helps the people see us talking. Cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
I don't think I've chosen a side yet.
Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. Cops tend to side with the higher-ups, but you're essentially still workers. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the right to work. Right to work.
What kind of cause are we talking about?
Rights of people, rights of workers to have gainful employment, to make a salary and feed their families.
His manner of speaking is wooden, the tone of his voice bland and uninspired, almost as if compiling replies from a set of learned phrases. Okay. Regardless, I do have some questions for you.
Maybe you should ask them the questions. Like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
Points the finger at the man sitting on the railing.
So do we, scab.
What is a strike? When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people, he shifts uncomfortably in his workers overall. What do the strikers want? Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while he raises his fists and starts shouting again, "Have the right to work!" There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. What does that mean? His shirt's as far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls held up by a belt seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. You're wearing new clothes? He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his. Silence is the answer. There's something off here, but he won't say what. Who are all the strike breakers? Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interest. The man runs a hand through his steadily graying military haircut. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in times of crisis. If union fucks don't want work, they ought let in those who do want work. I have a question. The lieutenant looks him in the eye. Why do all of these men follow your leadership? You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No, they follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were... He starts bellowing, "Give him a job to do!" You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from. Where exactly are you from? What's it to you? Deep-set suspicion drips from every syllable. I thought you looked familiar for a second. No, don't think we've met before. His eyes. I came to help the people. Already got that. I'm interested in your background. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain and Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Bouncer? Where? I've worked in a lot of bars. Worked at Territorial. Rings a bell? Never heard of it. Are you lying? He squints at you. A little spark of violence gutters in his eye. Then he blinks and turns to his men. We're done here. I have a strike to break. Wonder if he's basically just hired to do this by someone. The lorries probably stored fuel here. Now they're stored booze. And some money. Foreign car, kept in good condition. Stas Raiko, one of the finest Zimsk-made motor carriage ever. An oldie but a goldie. Who drives these? Not many people outside of Grad, and Revachol West too, it appears. Hey Kim, check this out! A Stas Raiko KK2. That's a classic model, the lieutenant replies with a nod. Never thought I'd see another one repainted after what happened last night. Hold on, maybe I can impress him. Do I know what happened last night? No, only that the motor carriage is typically baby blue, the colors of Sigismund the Great, an ancient Zimski ruler. His banners were famously zephyr and white, the colors of the Stas Raiko. Let me guess what happened last night, Kim. Blue and white are the colors of Zimnik. Someone painted it, got Zimsk mad, and boom, murder happened. That's, well, yes, exactly it, more or less. Except it was a crowd of them. Tore him out of the vehicle and ran him over with his own tires. They said it was an honor killing, Hussar style. The Zimsk community protested the trial, flying the colors. He shakes his head. 5,000 came to protest. Correction, 4,395. The fourth largest public protest of a criminal trial in Revachol. Hate to correct you, Kim, but only 4,395 people were. Is that so, officer? I'll take you at your word. Who are the Sims community? People we're paid to protect, the lieutenant shakes his head. Let's leave it at that. What they sentenced the killer to? He says the reflection in the car window. 4 years for murder in Reunion. The lieutenant shrugs. The perps were remorseful. They're sorry knocked 8 years off the sentence. That's the system. The prison and the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor are already full. Prisoners are expensive to maintain. The longer the sentence, the larger the cost. Kim, could our hanged man have been the driver of this car? I try to avoid drawing far-gone conclusions like this before actually examining the body, the lieutenant says with a slight smirk. But my initial guess is that the two are unrelated. Interesting. Before we proceed, I've got an opinion on this paint job. Yes, September. I think it looks better brown and black. They should have left it baby blue. You sure you're not Zimsk? He shares a smile with you for only a second. Yes, you're sure you're not. Or if you are, it's only in the Revacholian way. 4 to 5% maximum. Not exactly sure where we're going and where we are. But I think before I explore here, I do want to return to the cafeteria for now. Must be more this way, right? Oh, that's the bar. Okay, that's good to know. There's money. 3 T's. How idiomatic, right? Ooh, that is good. Haha, welcome to Revachol Music Mag. Glossy Magazine, most able-bodied man. This issue hosts a top 10 list. I will talk to these guys. Just wanna circle back to the cafeteria. Goods from the lorry haphazardly littered the surrounding. And I want to talk to the gardener again.
Hello again, officer. How are things?
Tell me, what exactly have you been doing in your greenhouse in March? Well, she points to her wheelbarrow, surprised at the question, and this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. So it has nutrients in it, helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me. She smiles shyly. Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. Squint your eyes and look at her intently. Yes. Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see? An entrance to the yard? That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gate. This is a great vantage point. Keeping an eye on you. I by any chance keeping an eye on us? No, of course not. I don't understand what this is about. She looks towards the yard and her expression clears. The kid did this, right? The red-haired rat. Can't say a sentence without... He's always giving me trouble. I was talking to him, yes. Maybe you shouldn't be. I mean, you do your job, but that kid is beyond help. And he certainly won't help you. She shakes her head. You've been resting here for quite a while, haven't you? The lieutenant intervenes, looking at her intently. Yes, I'm tired. I understand. The RCM isn't welcome here, and the locals want to keep an eye on us. There's silence, the smallest of smiles. That's okay, miss. Do what you have to do. The lieutenant nods at you. I think we're done here. Okay. So she's keeping an eye on us. Which I guess for now is fine. But this is where we will end it today. I think we will next time we will check out the bar and everything that will go on there. We'll try to find out more about the investigation. I also need to find out a way to really check out the body. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you all for watching. And if you enjoyed the episode, please give the video a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Share the videos with friends, family, and the people on the internet. That all helps me out a whole bunch and will bring you more content in the future. I will be back with more Disco Elysium tomorrow. Until then, have a great time.